with the premise that FSU will deploy an 8-man rotation on the offensive line next season.
Okay.
How many of the following will be in the 8-man rotation? Julian Armella, Jalen Early, Lucas Simmons.
I, like you, think there's a distinct possibility that Simmons is going to emerge and be in that rotation. They like Early a lot, so I think he'll be in the rotation. 2. The answer is 2.
Okay. It's going to be actually tough if you bring in another offensive lineman or 2 because of all the returners. I mean, in no particular order, Darius, Maurice, Keandre Jones, Robert Scott. Now, you can't count on all those guys to be healthy.
You sure can't.
After linebacker, the specific area you want to see addressed in the portal, and you got to be specific. So, for example, you have to say edge rusher or you have to say guard. So where would you go next?
That's funny. I like that you said aside from linebacker. You mean you knew that I wasn't overwhelmed and excited about Justin Cryer, Omar Graham, and Blake Nicholson?
I had, you know what? You're very hard to read sometimes, but I figured that was the case.
Guard.
More likely to happen, the Florida Gators go over 500 with their schedule next season, or Florida State wins the ACC.
Florida State wins the ACC. Hands down, not close. Yeah, all day, every day.
Okay, but you're projecting. So basically,
Florida's going to suck, and that schedule is the worst I've ever seen for somebody who sucks. They are done. That is, if you were elite, you would struggle with that schedule. They're not close to elite. They are in shambles, falling to pieces, and they're about to play the hardest schedule I've ever seen put together. Those lucky bastards will be fortunate to win 4 games. They're terrible.
I was hoping. I wanted an opportunity to bring up that schedule because I think we should every so often this offseason just to smile. So 4th down now.
I mean, come on, man.
You'll see that there will be a lead into a question next week that I can use. So I only need 3 more. But the player you are most excited to watch in spring camp on offense, and you can't say Lucas Simmons.
I'll go back to listen. I'm really, really excited about the running back coming in, but he's a true freshman, so I don't think that I can do that. I'll have to go at wide receiver and say Hakeem. I'm torn because I almost want to say Destin. I'll be honest there. I do. I almost want to say Destin. I thought. Listen, he showed me a little something against Georgia. I thought you're beginning to see the signs of a guy who could be a big, big part of what you're doing on offense. And I just wish he hadn't gotten hurt this year with that ankle. I'm going to say Hakeem because the physical tools are unbelievable. And I do think that if those 2 guys are healthy, they're going to both be stars for this segment group. But, yeah, I feel really good about them. If I could trust Vendravius Jacobs, Tom, I could say him. I like our receivers. I really do. I think they're all very talented. They don't have a ton of production on the field, obviously. We know that from watching this year. But there were glimpses, and we get to see practices as well. And a lot of times, before a guy has a big breakout on the field, for fans to go, oh, wow, who's that guy? And this is not like condescending. It's just the benefit of being at a practice on a daily basis. So we'll see a guy and we're like, man, wait till the fans see what that guy's going to be. You know what I mean? Like, just because they haven't, and he's not a starter, so he's not out there very often. And you'll watch a kid and go, he's going to be a star. Wait, remember the first time we watched Trey Benson run when he was not hampered by the knee, and they took the reins off and they told him, go play, go, like, because for a while there he was in the green jersey and it was sort of like, well, let's go easy here, and they wouldn't let him run. And then all of a sudden they're like, you're cleared completely. Let's go. And that day we were on the sideline and he caught the corner and ran right past the 2 of us. And we went, whoo, there's no chance I want any part of that. 225 running that fast. There are a lot of receivers like that in this team. Hakeem, Destin, and Vendravius Jacobs, all 3 fit in that category.
Yeah, that day for Trey Benson, he sliced through the air of the IPF. You could hear it. You could hear him.
God, I wish somebody could have seen it.
And then with Destin, I believe he was the deep post that was wide open that we missed, that Brock missed. But that was impressive. The break on the ball, all of it, like the break out of the route, I should say.
Yeah, it was a smooth route. And also that's a great effort on the catch on the sideline. That's a great throw. He gets his feet in, which is really hard to do, but that shows elite body control. He just dropped the ball when he hit the ground, or he juggled the ball a little bit, but he hit the ground hard. It was a really impossible catch, but he almost made it. And it's enough for you to go, whoo, that's in there. No, it's there. They're good, man. They're good at wide receiver. And if they bring in one more, they're going to be very, very good at wide receiver. If you could trust Portier to ever stay healthy. But anyhow, the point would be they've got players at that position. I'm excited about a lot of those guys, but I'll say Hakeem to answer your question.
Well, and that's the thing that DJU does best is deep ball. You know,
Yeah.
I think that fits pretty nicely, especially if they do close this Jalen Brown kid from LSU. He could be a gadget player, but he was sub 1100 meter in high school.
Fast as hell.
Sub 22 seconds in the 200. So it's sustainable, explosive speed that Brown brings to the table. And if you're trying to get vertical and take more deep shots than we did last year, you brought in the right quarterback with the right arm to do that.